Hey everybody, Joe Haygood here, and I am going to start putting together some videos. Nothing long, probably about 10-minute videos, maybe 15 minutes in length at the most, just as we prepare for this cruise. So if you haven't heard, or if you haven't heard me talk about it, we are on a Virgin Voyages Eastern and what's it called? Eastern Caribbean Antilles, which is a 8 night cruise, so technically 9 days. You come into port and basically disembark on that ninth day at like in the morning. And it is not until like April 2025. So it's a long way away. I think right now we're at 384 days away, which when you think about it, we booked it when it was 432 days. So, time starts to fly. But I'm putting this together because also me and my wife are trying to make some changes just for us in regards to um, our getting more healthy. We're trying to buy better foods. It's hard for me having Crohn's disease. It's very hard to eat a normal diet and then having an ostomy bag on top of it doubles that fact. An ileostomy versus a colostomy, so everything before the colon's gone. And it's very hard for me to diet. I have a hard time with a lot of vegetables. I have a hard time with a lot of fruits. I have a hard time with most dairy. You can see, doesn't leave me a lot on my plate. So, but we wanted to work on getting, well, I said, and I keep making the joke, I want to get into boat shape where I want to be a little more healthy and, eat better, but I want to work out. I'm trying to lose a little weight. I've got a little, not a huge spare tire, but I got a little bit of a tum tum. It's grown over time. It hasn't grown as fast as it probably would if you would have seen my diet before. But, um, I wanted to get into better shape. Like I wanted to put some muscle on. I noticed like I was starting to get kind of lanky and soft and kind of weakish. Like when I'd lift stuff, I'd be like, God, everything feels so much heavier now. Well, granted, I'm 52 years old as well, so that adds up to it as well. But anyways, with the goals in mind, my wife's trying to lose a chunk of weight. I'm trying to lose a little less and trying to actually bulk up. So I'm kind of doing this thing right now where I'm cutting my diet while I lift and do exercises and whatnot because I want to lose a certain amount before I start to build up muscle because it's a lot harder to convert. I think I could be wrong, but I feel like if I can get to a certain point, like to about a 135, and I know people are gonna be like 135 pounds, 5'6". I'll be honest. When I started this, I was at 159.3 pounds. It's the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life. And I felt weird with that because I've never felt that big. And it was bothering me like in ways like health ways. Like I would get a lot of gas pressure and stuff. And I noticed like I was starting to get tired when I'd go walking. Versus, I used to be able to walk miles upon miles upon miles. I'd never feel. I could still do it, but I noticeably would be like, oh my god, like my feet would hurt. Everything, I was just getting a lot of soreness. I was pinching my nerves in my hips a lot more often. My sciatica was worse. I felt more labored sometimes with my breathing because I was carrying more weight. So I wanted to shoot for a more comfortable weight. Now, my initial desire was like, hey, I was always comfortable when I was a lot lower, like when I was like 125, 130. I don't think I want to go that low and then come back up with muscle. So I'm thinking like if I can get to about 135, 130 to 135, I can start eating more protein and actually lifting a lot more weight and hopefully turn it into more muscle. Um, So I don't have as much to do as my wife, but and to be honest, it's a lot easier for me to lose weight per se with the Crohn's. I already don't absorb like half of what I eat, sometimes more than half of what I eat. My problem is ever since the pandemic, and not having a kid that's a lot younger. Like I used to have to run around with my kid everywhere, take him to the park, shoot hoops, this, that, the other. Ever since the pandemic, I haven't had to go anywhere. We were sitting around most of the time. My wife and I both have autoimmune disorders, and we're very cautious about going out and doing things. So, but that said, I noticed with that I was eating more, and at work I also wasn't getting up and getting around as much. So I was eating a lot of junk. And normally it's never been a problem. I am someone that has never looked at a label on food in my entire life until a month ago. I never looked at calories. I never looked at, labels, how much saturated fat, any of that stuff. I didn't really need to. But here I am. I'd sit here during the day and I'd eat literally a whole bag, the bigger bags of baked Lays or baked Ruffles. I'd eat like a whole bag of those in a day. Or I'd buy 2 king size Reese's peanut butter cups. So that's 4 peanut butter cups in a thing. And I'd eat like both of those in a day. Those are 440 calories each package. So in just eating 2 of those, I had 880 calories just in foods that were mostly dietary sugars and fats. So it was a lot of that. Like I'd sit down and I'd eat like whole back boxes of like I could eat a whole thing of crackers, or like I'd go through a quarter of a box of cereal sometimes in a day, just pouring it out 3 or 4 times a day. So a lot of for me has just been portion control. I come in and I've changed some stuff. Like I buy Total cereal now because it's got a lot of vitamins in it. I mean, it's got a lot of fiber in it too. So I'll eat 1 cup of that, and that's it till lunch. That's like, and then my lunch I've changed that where now I eat like a granola bar. I eat a fruit snack. I eat a second like peanut sweet and salty bar. It's got a little more calories, like 170, but all that stuff's very filling. And then I also have like I get I bought the Great Value, and you've seen me if you've watched my streams. I don't like it. It's real kind of tough in spots. Got like tough spots. It's not like the Oscar Mayer stuff. But anyways, it's a sliced deli meat. It's like 40 calories. It's like 50 calories for 2 ounces. So it's like super cheap on the calories. I eat the low carb bread from somebody, and it's like 45 calories a slice. So my lunch is relative. My lunch is about 400 calories, maybe 450. My breakfast is just the cereal, which is 170. I drink a lot, or 150, 140, 150, something like that. So that's what I eat once, 1 cup in the morning. And then normally dinner, and like last night I had like a turkey bacon sandwich. So basically just 2 slices of toast, 90 calories for that bread. And the turkey bacon, 4 slices, is 160 calories. That's my dinner. I did have some potato chips, but I got the stacks now, and I eat those in the volume required, which is 12 chips. It's like 140 calories. And I did have a peanut butter cup last night. Every now and then I treat myself. I did the one with the potato chips in it. It was like 170 calories. But what I'm getting at is I was probably eating like 4,000 calories a day. And now I've been eating, like normally I average like 1,600 calories a day. And I haven't been hungry. And then I supplement it with, although lately I've been doing a workout, and I'll put a link to it in here. Actually, my wife bought it, but I decided to try it because it's a good way for me to start off with weights without getting heavy into it, because it's just dumbbells. We have like a whole dumbbell rack in our house that my kid wanted, and then he didn't take it with him when he moved. So we got like 6, 8s, 10s, 12s, 15-pound dumbbells. So I started with the 10s. I've moved up to the 12s now, and the goal is to move up to the 15s. But it's designed more for a kind of a woman's workout for body shaping. But I just try to do as much weight as I can with them, and it's been really good. I'll put a link. I keep meaning to do this, but I'm going to put a link with the email to the travel agent we used, who we found through the Where in the World is CL channel. Christine Lozetta, I think is her name, and her guy is JC. I forget his name right now, but I'll get it and I'll put it in here when I post it. Email him for like deals on Virgin or any other cruise line. We're using Virgin because we like the fact that everything was kind of included: specialty dining, tips, gratuities, taxes. Everything was kind of included except for some minor expenses like, hey, alcohol. And actually, we got $250 free bar tab, you know, and we get $600 of what they call sailor loot, which is basically stuff we can use for just about anything. You know, we can use sailor loot for the casino. We can buy stuff in the stores on the ship. You know, if we wanted to use it towards a tattoo. Yes, there is a tattoo club called Squid Ink, the only tattoo club at sea. Um, you can use it for excursions off the boat when you go into port, which we're probably going to use a lot of it for that. Um, but yeah, he got us a cool deal because originally when I booked it, I got a $300 bar tab and that was it. He actually got us a cheaper room rate, the sailor loot, and the bar tab. Solid deal. So I'll get his information down there too. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm just gonna be doing these. Sometimes my wife might get involved. She might do some with me, but ooh, excuse me. The idea is that we just want to get more healthy for this trip, and the trip is kind of is the um, is the reason, the focus of this. Like, okay, we have a focal point. It sets a goal. It sets a hard line. So yeah. Anyways, till the next one of these, I can't say I'll do them daily, but yeah, just here and there. I was trying to test out. I bought these new lavalier microphones, and I wanted to see how they work. That's the other reason I made this video. So I don't have the greatest camera setup in the world. I just use an iPhone. Someday, if this takes off and these videos do well, I will work on getting a better camera setup, like a DSLR. I did want to get one of those. I have it in my list, one of those 360 cameras. You know, that's on, you know, the invisible selfie stick. You know, so you can kind of do like you can have it focus on you while you're like. I wanted to have it for like touring things. Like if you go somewhere, it's like, hey, I can have this focus out doing the tour, and then I can have one of them, so I can do an inlay with me and then one focusing out. Like it'd be great for like touring the ship. I know there's a ton of ship tour videos. Oh, by the way, our boat's the Scarlet Lady. Normally the Valiant Lady runs that trip, but she's going to be, I think, in Europe at the time. They kind of rotate their ships around. Ours, also, the Scarlet Lady is going to be coming out of dry dock, so it's going in for some touch ups and just, you know, general repairs, cleanups, blah 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 blah. So we're going to be like, I think, the second or third cruise after it comes transatlantic back from Europe and dry dock. So that'll be cool. We're going to get a refreshed ship, which will be kind of nice. So we will be one of the first cruises to see those new changes, which will be, if there's any changes. I think most of it's just gonna be like, hey, fresh coat of paint, you know, fixing some knocks here and there and stuff like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're excited, and we've never been on a cruise before. You know, we did it because it's like our choice was try this or go back to Hawaii, and nothing against Hawaii. Hawaii was spiritual for me when I went. Like it was, I have a hard time expressing in words what Hawaii did for me. Um, from the first moment I saw a sunset there while we were at Alamana Beach, and I know I've talked about that before. That just was, that image is burned into my head. Being at the top of Diamond Head is burned into my head. Sitting there having freaking shaved ice at Waialoa's shaved ice is in my head. Zippies for breakfast. Just going to North Shore. A lot of that stuff is just kind of burned into my brain. Just walking down Waikiki Beach. Just all of it is just seared into my brain. But yeah. So anyways, I will go over more cruise ideas and itineraries that we're going to have the next time I do one of these. So till then. Bye.